I think I'm addicted to one-sided conversation. It's so fun just to talk to absolutely nobody.
Hello everyone and welcome to Fandom Pop. My name is Soul and today we're doing something really fucking cool. We're doing my top 10 games of all time. And if you don't know, I hate the term of all time. It is for right now at the beginning of 2020, which the reason I'm doing this video is because one, I've never done one of these. I've never actually just sat down and was like, here's my favorites list. And so not only did I want to do that just for the sake of doing it, but like a lot of you guys don't fucking actually know me. Like you subscribed to me what? Not even a couple weeks or months ago? Yeah, that's not enough time. You gotta get to know me, and I don't know a better way to get to know a person than knowing their favorite fucking video games. And I don't want to go into a whole backstory of all the games I've ever played. I don't want to break down the difference between a top 10 best list and a top 10 favorites. Just know that the games that are about to appear before you are my personal games. The only rule going into this is I only want to do one game per franchise, because if I start doing like multiple games and putting them like together, like if I put Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas together, that would just fuck up the list. Maybe top 10 franchises would be its own thing, but for right now, one game per franchise. Let's begin. I was going to do honorable mentions, but if I really did honorable mentions, it would be like another hour long. But I will say that there was like 5 or 6 other games that were on the list at one point, but I like sat on it for a couple months. And the games that were already on there were Shadow of the Colossus, Life is Strange, the new Spider-Man game, the new God of War. Yeah, there's a lot of tough choices made with this list.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay.
Anyway, let's begin. As you could probably tell, my 10th entry is Resident Evil 4. And no, I don't just like the pure horror Resident Evil games. I was never a really big Resident Evil guy, but for whatever reason, RE4 had me hooked. I don't know what it was, just running away from chainsaw guys and fighting these big epic bosses on the fucking GameCube of all things. It was awesome. And this, when I played this, it was a decent amount of time after the game came out, but for whatever reason, I fell in love with this game. It was one of the best experiences I ever had, and out of pure action zombie combat bullshit, I can't think of much better. I know I love playing mercenaries on this thing. I loved Ada's little side story. I got halfway through the game immediately after the first time I played it on New Game Plus. I was addicted to this game for a little bit.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay.
Number 9, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Yeah, my brother was the biggest Elder Scrolls dude I could imagine. He was super into Morrowind, super into Oblivion. So by the time Skyrim came out, it was very well hyped in our household, and goddamn did it ever live up to it. I don't think I've really gotten past like 100 hours in this game before starting a new profile. Every single time though, it's a new experience because there's so much to this game. It's not like the most interesting game ever. Like people who hate this game, like I kind of get it. It's not like a super RPG where everything you do is going to matter. Like it doesn't have a lot of depths. It's not like everything you run into is going to be super interesting, but it does have a lot of really good shit in there. And what you do play as, it feels like kind of like what a base RPG should be. I felt like Skyrim set the standard, and every game past it has to kind of like add a little bit more depth or add a little bit bigger map and just do things to be better than Skyrim. But Skyrim still fucking has a huge leg on its competition.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay.
But one open world game that completely destroys it is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And again, I'm not a big Zelda guy. I don't think I've completed any other Zelda game. I was really into Majora's Mask, and I tried to play Twilight Princess and all these games. Couldn't ever do it. Breath of the Wild, fucking flew through this game, man. I put in 60 hours within like a week. I was fucking addicted to this game. I really remember one moment where I was standing on a hill just talking to a random NPC, and he was like, oh yeah, by the way, do you want to slide down this hill? You know, if you press this certain button, you can slide down on your shield. And I was like, oh, I could have been playing the game entirely different. And now that I've talked to this NPC, I will now do that. There's at least 100 moments like that in Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. There's 1,000 ways to play this game. There's a base Zelda surface level game. And on top of that, they built a giant empire of exploration above that Zelda game. So you can play it a couple different ways, and I completely intend to do that. And they're making a sequel. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fucking lose myself in Zelda, man.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
Number 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The first draft of this list. This was an honorable mention because I had not fully played/completed it. That has changed. I fucking love this game. I fucking love Melee. That probably would have been on this list, if this game didn't overtop it. But this is everything I could fucking want from a Smash Brothers game. It is literally the ultimate version of this. They might make a better one down the line, but as it stands, this is a fucking masterpiece. I don't play games online, but I have sunk too many hours as King DDD, just fucking sucking and cucking people off of the stage in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It is a super fun experience. And just looking at this goddamn screen, I want to pick up my Switch and get my ass beat some more. It is a super fun experience. I love this game, and it's probably the best party game I could ask for.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
Then we got the original Fable on the original Xbox. This game is nostalgic for me, man. I completely 100% did this game, I think, twice, and I've played through it about 4 or 5 times. Every single time, I lose myself in being this little small child who gets taken into a guild of heroes, and the heroes are going to raise me, and they're kind of okay with me becoming an evil lord of destruction and possibly murdering them all. Action RPGs are basically my genre of choice, and Fable is kind of what set the groundwork for all of that. I have never really played a game like Fable ever since, including Fable 2. I do love Fable 2, but the original Fable, man, everything about the game had me enamored. I'd never seen magic systems in that game. I had never seen this branching storyline where I can be good and evil. I never had a story like that and post-game DLC that blew the original ending out of the water. There was so many things to this game that challenged me and did new things for me. And a lot of people don't think Peter, whatever the fuck his name's vision of being one of the best games ever fully lived up to it. But god damn it, I do.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
Number 5, Final Fantasy X. I'm sorry, Titus, I got the microphone over your face there. I love this game. On my podcast, Good Morning Soul channel, I went into the full story of how it took me months to complete this game. I had a broken copy that was fucking up right at the end of the game, and I had to scourge the universe for another copy, and I had to grind my ass into oblivion, and I eventually, when I finally reached the ending, I cried tears of joy and sadness. This game is beautiful. This is a work of art if there ever was one, and I'm replaying it with my girlfriend right now, and it's living up to it. I really enjoy this game, from its music to its character designs to its universe. Everything about it is awesome.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
Uh-oh, what game is that behind me in the number 4 slot? I love Pokemon. And in my number 4 slot, probably my most controversial choice, I have Pokemon Go. Yeah, I open Pokemon Go on the daily. I fucking hunt shinies. I do everything. I go into raids with all these people, and I explore the fucking universe. And whenever I'm on vacation, I gotta hit up all the Pokestops and do all the things. I'm always doing research, and I'm always blah, 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 blah. I'm not a big mobile game player, but for whatever reason, Pokemon Go took everything I love about Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon guy. I've played all of them. And it took that concept and made it into a more living media that I'm willing to subscribe to. And I hate MMOs. I fucking hate everything. I I hate 2020 in our world of games that don't just fucking end. I like digesting things and going on to the next thing. But this is the one fucking game I'll subscribe to. I'll pay a couple microtransactions. Sure, it's free. I'll do everything because I love the shit out of this game. And that's not because of the game even. I've run into some of my old high school friends playing this game. I've bonded with a lot of people going out and doing raids together. Like, that is what the heart of this game is, and it knows it. It's trying to make your adventures in the real life extraordinary via a game. I am all for AR gaming. It's fucking awesome. Is that how I'm gonna end all of these? Is just by saying it's awesome. But yeah, Pokemon Soul Silver would have been in the top 5 if this wasn't already in there.
Yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
Number 3, Kingdom Hearts 2. I am a big Kingdom Hearts guy. I love the franchise. It's cringy as all hell and has a million flaws, but I'm in it for the long run at this point. But Kingdom Hearts 2 was and probably always will be the gold standard of this franchise. Kingdom Hearts 1 is amazing. It would have been in this top 10 on its own. But Kingdom Hearts 2 took that original concept, made a much better battle system, added way more bosses, much better world exploration, and just made a fun universe where you get to play with Final Fantasy characters in Disney and you're this spiky hair anime boy flying around swinging your keyblade. It's so dumb and so overly complicated and it's just so awful. I love it. I fucking love this franchise. I'm a stupid idiot. And I'm just so happy knowing that.
yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
Number 2, Fallout 3. Previously, this was my favorite game for a really long time. I dumped like 200 hours into my original playthrough of Fallout 3. I did everything there was to do. There was a point in the game where I was just playing the game to listen to music on Xbox, and I like ran out of things to do, so I was just running around with a fat man shooting the super mutant overlords, and I was a completely pure, and I was like, fuck it, I'll go completely evil for the sake of it and chase all the achievements and everything else to do in the game. I was really in love with this game, and no, it has aged pretty bad. The story is not as enamoring as it once was to me. The combat really doesn't hold up. A lot of what I love for this game is tied up in nostalgia. And personally, New Vegas is probably a better game, but I hold them right next to each other as being up there as kind of my favorite game. A lot of my love for this game is tied to New Vegas, but this game on its own, I would just win out a little bit over New Vegas because Fallout 3 is a beautiful, destroyed world that I love to explore, and it kind of, again, was like one of those stepping stones for me. And I can't like look at all these other outer world games without coming back to Fallout and being like, it's not really that experience. The original experience I had with Fallout 3 is probably going to always be better than a lot of these other games, but I am optimistic.
yeah, this is real and that's okay. This is real and that's okay. This is
And number 1, Mass Effect 2. So yeah, I'm a big Mass Effect boy. I love the franchise. It's probably my favorite franchise. And oh boy, I've gone into my personal journey with this game plenty of times, but just to recap, I hated this game the first 3 hours I played it, and by the time I reached the ending of the game, I thought it was all right. And then when the ending happened, I was like, oh, this game's great. And then I replayed it like 10 times, and I was like, oh, this is the fucking best thing in my life. Mass Effect 3 was great. I still love Mass Effect 3 despite the ending. The combat is much better, and it has a lot of other things going for it, but like Mass Effect 2, something about just gathering your squad, going on this mega mission where everyone could possibly die, upgrading your ship, upgrading your weapons, playing on the top difficulty, and being able to watch your camera shut off. Mass Effect 2 has been my favorite game for like almost a decade at this point. And a big reason for that is everything I love about games is in this game. I'm a big story guy. I like interacting with my stories too. I like the branching storylines. I like the Paragon Renegade system in this game. I have a fucking Paragon Renegade tattoo. Every squad mate in this game is one of my favorite characters in gaming and probably all of media. Every fucking character I adore. And playing the other games, going back and playing Mass Effect 1 and meeting Rex, and now he's in the game, and all these other things. It's so rewarding. It's so satisfying to see the other branching storylines. Even if it's not super different, you get to experience the game with new characters. You get to do new things. And hell, I still haven't done everything in this game. I haven't played the fucking DLC characters. I haven't done the fucking Shadow Layer DLC. I can't fucking wait to do that, though. Suffice to say, Mass Effect 2 changed my life a little bit, and like the other RPGs I mentioned, it kind of was the flag bearer. It was the gold standard of what I expected games to be, what I expected RPGs to be, what I expected the branching storylines and all these other things to be, and I don't think a game has topped it yet. Mass Effect 3 certainly didn't. Mass Effect Andromeda certainly didn't. Personally, I'm waiting for that next game to capture me like Mass Effect 2 did, that will have a story as emotional and as epic as this one felt, and I can actually interact with it and play with it to my heart's content. Mass Effect 2 is always going to be one of, if not, my favorite game. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got to know me a little bit better. I'm thinking of doing other like top 10-ish lists for my favorite things. I want to start the new decade by kind of setting the groundwork, getting you guys to know me, getting to know what I fucking like. And if you like any of the stuff I mentioned, I am completely down to make Mass Effect videos, Fallout videos, whatever else you're into that you want me to talk about. Let me know. That's what we're here for. I'm here to feed you guys entertainment. With all that being said, though, this was Fandom Pop. My name is Soul, and with that, I leave you.
For now, that's the way it is. I hope something changes this. Over all the waiting. Clear mind, open heart means something. For now, that's the way it is.